So the power unit is a pretty important thing to get set up. In this scenario, I had to take off the power cord to run it. This black wire is your positive or your load, and then this white wire is your neutral, and the green wire is the ground. If you open up the controller like this, everything's mapped out, so you got ground, neutral, and load. So black, white, green. You've got all your positives right here and all your negatives right here. Red is positive, black is negative. That's running to the relay board, and the relay board is giving you your lugs to tie into. Those are also marked, so you've got positive, negative, positive, negative. From there, it's powering the controller, same deal, color-coded the same. When you first open the box, you'll notice that you've got 4 in here. Just use however many you need. On this one, we're only gonna need 1, so I'm gonna pull out these other 3 and to just kind of throw these out. And then I'm gonna cut the end off of it so that way I can tie into my start wire. It can be kind of tricky to get the wires in, so do like a bend like that, and then you can push them in right at the angle you need on one of the sides, and then you're good to go. Okay, a couple last notes on the power box. The lid has a little light up logo, and it just plugs in to this spot right here. You just line up the ridge, plugs right in right there. And then we have another one of those that powers the fan, just there on the bottom. Same thing, just plugs in, powers this external fan. And then fastening it, it has these pre-drilled holes on the back. The reason they have that is because when the lid's on, everything's closed and watertight on the top. If you put screws in the back right here, you're now penetrating the seal. So you get these long screws, make sure you got a long drill bit. I find the square drive works really well, and then that way you can just kind of pop it on there. And then when you go to install it, just make sure it goes through, and then you can just fasten it into the wall, just like we did up there. On this install, I've got 2 wires that are going into the track. Okay, this first one is my start wire, and you'll notice there's only 3 on here. I've got a positive, a negative, and a data. The positive, negative, I want to tie into these lugs right here, and they're marked. So plus is going to be your red wire, minus is going to be the black wire. I've got a second one here, which is a 14-2, and that is going to be our injection wire, which is going about 80 feet down to re-inject power. And you'll notice here that I have this single yellow wire, which is going to be data, going to the controller. Now I've just cut off the other ones. We don't need a positive and negative from here, just because this wire is so thin, it's not going to push enough voltage through. So we use a thicker wire for the start, and that way you can actually just tie in directly right there. The controller is going to be powered through these wires right here, so you don't have to worry about that because that's already pre-made. And then any other injection wires you can tie into lugs. I have them taken off in this example. But that way everything's going to be powering up. You're going to have the exact amount of voltage you need. The reason we install the power box really close to the beginning of the install is so that way we can test them as we go. Many times we've started at the end and then done the power box, and then we plug it in just to find out nothing works. And then you're trying to find out where the issue is, which takes forever. So when you're installing, make sure they're on bright white, and then you can kind of test it as you go. Before you cut it, unplug it. Don't cut anything or do anything while it's plugged in, and then your system is going to run.